Generic greetings, today's beverage is cranberry juice, and welcome to an out-of-order intro sequence. Back on Prison Architect, as you can see, we have a lot more flooring put in. It's got the look that I wanted, which is very dour, very depressing, very oppressive, I guess, with a lot of greys and dark stones and that sort of thing. The only thing that really spoils it is the fence, because the fence here doesn't have, well, it doesn't, the floor underneath it is always this, the same texture, and I just don't like it. But anyway, we're going to see how far we can get this episode when it comes to, I guess, finishing the prison off. We have the bulk of the thing done. What we're really trying to do now is get some more reform through the go, more things like the grants. If we can produce, I don't think we'll be able to produce 10 superior beds, because it's unlikely that the carpentry apprenticeship is even something that people want to do. Actually, one is interested, so what I might do then, I might go ahead and disassemble some of these presses. 2, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, I might do that. I might get rid of these and put some other things in, although I don't know if that's a good thing. What we're going to do, actually dismantle that table on the top left, and instead we'll place a carpenter's table up there, just out of the way, and it means that we can do the carpentry apprenticeship, and producing 10 superior beds, that would be really good. But anyway, yes, going on for that, going through the prisoner grading there, and all of that sort of thing. It looks like this person, did they not get escorted? No, I don't think they are going to escort it because of where they are. They're not allowed to leave to go to that parole, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, I'm going to go over to our deployment and then change that to max sec only and change access only to remove that, and then reschedule all programs, which is a bit of a shame because, oh no, it's fine. We did it during lockup. We're fine. And what we need to do as well, we're going to set carpentry apprenticeship and general, I was going to say general education qualification. There was one person interested there. I'm guessing that the same person that's interested in the carpentry apprenticeship is this. Yeah, it's the same person that's interested in the general education qualification. I'm going to remove all of our planning because I don't think there's anything else to really do there, so that's fine. In terms of the flooring, we got 30 grand, which is more than enough to place the lovely metal floor that I wanted for this place, and let's just get all that placed in. In fact, it's actually not much money at all, but there we go. In terms of power for the second grid, you can see that's only running at about a quarter, maybe close to a third, so there's not really a big issue there. We have got 10 prisoners pass the foundation. It says have 10 prisoners pass the foundation education course. So one prisoner on 10% has completed that. So I mean, we technically are closer to what we're wanting. And why is that person just gone there? Did you see that person there, Sean Brown, went there, stopped, and then came back? I'm going to search that prisoner because that was some interesting activity. No, maybe it's been passed off to other people. We don't really know. Anyway, you can see people are coming in and there's stuff getting moved around. So we do have people working in this workshop. Let's just have a quick look at our, where will it be? In logistics and prison labour, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people working there, which is good. The library and the shop don't require, the library used to require general education, I think, for it to work, but now no longer. And we've got, obviously, the other stuff going on as well. Excellent. Right, so, common room we don't really need to touch. I mean, is there anything else we could put in there? Not really. Most of the other stuff is sort of pointless in there. We have enough pool tables, we have TVs, we have these benches, and we have some chairs and phone booths. So we've got everything we want there. And for some reason, that person is stripped off straight from the visitation, then going there. It'll be interesting to see what Paradox do with the game. In fact, I'm recording this before their announcement. They're supposed to be doing an announcement in a bit. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it's I think it's after this video had gone out. So yeah. We'll have to see what they do. It'll be interested to see if they do go back and squish loads of bugs, or whether they just fling loads more stuff in it, which I'm happy for either, really. But things like going from visitation straight out, like stripping clothes off and going in the shower, because that's what they're going to do, instead of waiting to get there. Just little niggles like that. Nothing game-breaking, but just interesting behaviour. Anyway, what I want to do is go over to our objects here. and we want to get some barbed wire. Now, barbed wire is 200. I'm tempted to place some barbed wire in and around this area because this is where we have our sort of security area. The problem with it is that really, if they want it in, they're probably not going to tunnel it. They're probably just going to smash through the large jail door. Sorry, not tunnel it. They're probably not going to go over the wall. But I just really like the look of it, so we're going to place the barbed wire around there. There is some merit to, say, go back and this fence here, instead of changing this fence, instead of having this as a fence, have it as a perimeter wall. Now, there is some merit in that, mainly because each section of barbed wire costs 200. However, the perimeter wall is 200 anyway, so it's the same price. The difference is that the perimeter wall, you can still climb over it, but it takes a lot more to go over, whereas the barbed wire slows you down and also causes a bit of damage. But quite honestly, by the time they've got to this point and have started to work up and over it, barbed wire on a normal fence is probably about the same speed as a standard perimeter wall, so I'm thinking of doing that. Do we have a road barrier? We do have a road barrier. So road barriers are 10 grand. Quite an expensive piece of kit. And they sort of toggle on and off. So useful for placing somewhere and then basically toggling them so they stop everything. So you can just shut the prison down. I'm tempted to move the road gate up a couple of notches, repositioning the door servos and then putting the gate on there. Probably what we'll do. It's probably what we'll end up doing, but we'll see. This wall here we probably won't touch. This isn't likely to become a perimeter wall because you can't climb over that way, because swimming ain't in. It's like the early GTAs. You touch water, it's like lava, you're gone. Anyway, so I'm just going to quickly reschedule all programs and then edit the schedule, and we can see that, yes, parole is definitely set to max sec there, so that's fine. Okay, it is fighting. What again? Simon has got his hands on a shotgun. Brilliant. So it looks like he's dropped what he was doing and has now got a set of keys. And yeah, hands up straight away. It seems that he waits for the armed guard to come along, hits them once and takes them out because he is, after all, extremely strong, extremely tough, and expert fighter. Yeah. So it doesn't kill him immediately with the first hit, but he's strong enough to basically survive a couple of shots from him. So that's a thing. So I'm not going to do a shakedown. Don't think it would be a decent thing to do at this point. The disadvantage is that we've now had a death, which means I can't get any more shares, but we haven't lost any prisoners, which is a good thing as well. I'm going to go over to staff and to armed guard because, as you can see, we are basically having armed guard. I was going to say losses. It is a downward spiral, really. If you are assigned to an armed guard here, I mean, for a start, you know that it's going to be a tough job. You're an armed guard. But yeah, this place is sort of infamous, really, isn't it? Anyway, it looks like Simon, age 27, going to spend another couple of years of his life inside here. He's never going to leave the facility. Well, in fact, the only time he'll leave the facility is either him escaping, unlikely, or in a body bag, more likely. Although because he's extremely tough, if it kicks off, he tends to be the one that instigates everybody else. It all kicks off. It's complete chaos. Chaos ensues, and then if he takes a couple of hits, he's extremely strong. So he goes, and he puts his hand up. But yeah, extremely tough. He's not. Oh, he's stoical, so he will continue fighting, and he's fearless. Not intimidated by the sight of armed guards, which is, yeah, what we've seen there. Not come suppressed when locked in solitary. They really don't care. Yeah, well, we've seen that as well. Anyway, so no prisoners arriving in the morn. Still have 5 prisoners only released in total. And in terms of our In terms of bureaucracy, is anything we need? Well, we're not going to get land expansion. Tax relief is sort of pointless because we're not producing a lot, although we are starting to increase that. We've got 5 people working at the moment. Small cells, no. Death row, no. Say with grit teeth, because I would like to get that, but I've already mentioned in the previous episode why we're not doing it. Legal prep is something that I shouldn't need, but really wish I did about 4 or 5 episodes ago. However, we've sort of fixed that a little bit. We could do some more things by, say, opening up, putting an entrance there, so getting rid of the cell and making that an entrance, and then getting rid of this. This would all that would also work, I think. The question is it worth it? I don't know. I don't think so. Removing all of that, I don't think it is. Anyway, looks like a lot of people are going to work here, and that is good. Hopefully they'll get rid of the sheet metal that's just stacked on the floor there. The chief is calling. So, we've just discovered that one of the teachers we bring in for the inmate classes has been smuggling huge amounts of contraband. They've been fined, but the damage has been done at this point. Right. So, this is potentially a... Oh, dear. Every single one of those could be armed, for all we know. The problem with that smuggled in contraband stuff is that it could be pretty much anything. There's normally only a certain amount of stuff that can be smuggled in. And with us having metal detectors here, so stuff coming from the kitchen can't really get out. Metal detectors there, same thing. Nothing can be thrown in, and nothing can be passed through visitation. This is really the only one that's going to cause us a massive issue. Now, I'm going to unpause it here. We're going to keep it on normal speed because I'm just going to keep an eye out for these prisoners. So we've got John Tapper, who says he's going to have a poo, and Ed Jones? It's not Jones, it's Joins. Anyway, they're going to go through here, and that could be... Well, this is where we're going to find out any contraband. So they're moving through. Metal detectors are indicating that they're fine. Oh, there's a nightingale. Cool. And yeah, it says they're fine, although there's a lot more people now coming out of the... a lot more people coming out of the chapel, and they're going to probably avoid, as best they can, any dogs or metal detectors, although they have to go through here anyway. So, looks like if there's anything being smuggled through, it's not metal, or the metal detectors aren't working, which doesn't happen, I don't think. But you do get erroneous signals, so maybe you can have... well, you do get false positives, so maybe you can have... there might be like a failure amount, like a certain percentage of stuff will be allowed through. Yeah, there's one of them going off, but I don't know if that was one of the people. That's Max Ammo. Max the Geeky Gangster Ammo, apparently. Yeah, so that could mean all manner of things. There's a lot of supply for tools and narcotics and luxuries, and not so much for weapons. So a shakedown is in order. So we'll see. Looks like that person, the teacher, is going for... they're trying to teach carpentry apprenticeship. So Benjamin Boughton, prison number 471545... sentenced to 8 years for grievous bodily harm there. We can see that they are tough, stoical and fearless. They are currently doing the carpentry apprenticeship, which their success chance is going up quite some amount, which is really good, actually. Even if we get one person past this, producing 10 superior beds, I don't think takes that long. You can see that they are going through this program. I think it takes 3 days. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That would make sense, I guess. Unless they've already done stuff previously and maybe it's 4 or 5 days. But anyway, they've passed for the workshop safety induction and they're going for the carpentry apprenticeship. Just going to double check then in the policy, programs. I always get those two mixed up. General education, one person interested. We will start that. General behavioural therapy, we got 35 in the queue. We might as well start that up, and we don't need to do the guard taser. So I don't know if it would be... Is it really? Do we really need to do it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, so it does say 6 prisoners released. I noticed up there, yeah, 1 prisoner is arriving, so I thought, well, they haven't died, so we note that now 1 prisoner has been released, probably due from parole. It doesn't say at this point. The parole note is on the bottom right of that. Looks like they are working out in the NUD. because that's just something that they prefer to do. I guess better airflow, isn't it? And I think we should probably focus on getting these road gates dismantled and moved. So we are going to dismantle the door servo and the road gate on both sides here. So 1 and then 2. And then we're going to build up with a little bit of a fence, probably to about maybe only 1, 2, 3 to there. I don't actually know if we need to go full 3, but we'll see. And 1, 2, 3, because we're going to have it on the third one. And then we will put that fence back in. The reason I'm doing it now, the road gate rather, is because there's no point in placing the other one. Road gate. There's no point in placing... Oh yeah, we have to do that. Placing the other one and then having to buy it again. And it looks like we do have a little bit of a fencing issue there. Although the roadblock might cover that, but just in case for now. And we don't have enough for the roadblock anyway, so it's best to put it in. And then, obviously, our door servos too, which will go there, which I cannot place. I'll have to wait for the stuff to be placed first, I guess. Right, so we found an electric drill in, well, something. Where was it? Hang on, 20. Oh, there we go. That was actually just brought in. Looks like it's found in some bacon. And a shank as well. And there's a wooden pickaxe, which was stolen from the workshop. To be fair, there's no... It's strange that we don't have any wood in this place. This is all clearly license plates. So you turn the stack of sheet metal into license plates blanks, and then the blanks get stamped, and then you make license plates. And that's, you know, you could make a metal pickaxe out of that. You could make a wood one. Not if you are, or not unless you are, well, a wizard of some kind. The carpentry table, though, I guess you could say that there's been some wood brought in for that. If it was a forestry, then that would make a lot more sense. But hey ho. Right, how are we doing over here? Those things are now put in, so that's fine. We will pause it once again while we go over to utilities and then place this in there. And then we'll go right down to the bottom here, like so. And that one is going to be fine. We're going to dismantle the utility like that. And then do something similar over here. We don't need to, you understand. It just tidies it up a little bit. And I think we do need to go over it. So that should be about right. And that should be both these road gates connected. And then we can place the other one right there. So just in case we need to lock it down. Not that I'm expecting it to be used, you understand. Because it's like everything in an emergency situation. You hope and don't really expect it to be used, but when you need it, you really need it. We might as well place that in there to get it connected up. There we are. So I'm going to go to connections and to the door servo, and we'll say there and over here. The disadvantage we may have, and I do stress may, is that no power and it still works. Oh no, doesn't matter. I was going to say the disadvantage we may have is that this supply truck might come here and stop and not clip through, whereas it does there. Again, all these little niggles that we just sort of, after years of the game, we just sort of accept that it's here. And anything could change with the release of future patches. Now that Paradox own it, as the hive mind gets more and more, adds more and more things and assimilates everything. They're like the good EA, really. Right, I guess it's your that's all a matter of perspective and opinion, I guess, on that one. Anyway, door servo is still not connected. I did order some of that, but it doesn't look like it's been done. Is that one now done? Yes, it is. That is perfectly fine. So we have not enough money for any placement around here, but I thought we would have. Oh, it's 2 deaths in the last 24 hours, so we're very close to being able to sell some more shares and getting that one done. In terms of the grading, it's still on 6. Like I said, I really wanted to wait until we've got some grading tunnel. Before we leave it, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. So we found a bit of a tunnel on the left-hand side there. We will say remove tunnels, and we've got all kinds of narcotics. Obviously, this shakedown is mainly because of the breach that we've had earlier. So I'm hoping that we clear a lot of these clear a lot of the supply of it. I mean, I'm not... It sounds strange, but I'm not too bothered. I'm not too bothered whether they find tools, narcotics, or luxuries. Luxuries and tools is the things that I'm least bothered about. You know, if they want to have a mobile phone and stuff, you know, fine, that's whatever. I'll look the other way, sort of thing. Same as cigs and booze to a certain extent. That's a new one. I'll get to that in a moment. Tools, same again. You know, I mean, I know these can be used as weapons, so we do want to clear those up. But things for, like, tunneling, I really couldn't care less around. Narcotics could be an issue. But you can see there's needles and things like that, and medicine. There's not a big... there's some supply, but I don't think there's a lot of people using. So it doesn't really cause much of an issue. We've only had a couple of overdoses. I say only a couple of overdoses. Like, it's just a common thing, but... It's actually quite a good prison for that, mainly because stuff can't be smuggled in, so there's not really a lot of stuff there. The main thing is weapons, because when it kicks off, and it regularly does around here, that's the deadly stuff, so we need to sort that out. Anyway, so it looks like we have found another tunnel in a very unexpected place. Looks like Christopher Hughes here, age 41, prison number 682338. They have been sentenced to 18 years for armed robbery, and they were digging down and across by the look of it. Again, it's a very, very, very ambitious thing for them to undertake, because it's highly unlikely that they'll ever make it. But, I mean, you know, that's a thing. See, this is the problem here. Look at that. It's gone to free time, right? And they're all using the toilet. And then they funnel out. But the danger level goes to absolute hell. Let's go over to needs. And there's a huge hygiene need. Looks like they're getting there. Yeah. It's this probably... It's this thing here. This here again. But it's not kicking off nowhere near as what it was before. And mainly because Simon is there. That's the main reason, isn't it, really? Simon being down there is the main thing. Right, okay. So we should be able to now sell some shares. There we go. And that gives us a 34 grand. More than enough, then, to have a road barrier. Two of. One in there. And then one in there. I mean, realistically, we could place it there, couldn't we? But I just prefer it on the end bits. Although a third one there would be a good choice as well. Nope, you can't rotate it round, so it doesn't matter. That's a shame. That's disappointing, actually. Because this would be the better option, because realistically, prisoners are going to come out here and then they're going to try and get over that fence. In the previous versions of the game, what would happen is they would charge and just try to get out and break through, but, you know, going over fences wasn't a thing, and now ropes are in here, so now they can go over. So that's the danger point. So we need to sort that out, and really perimeter wall is the way forward for that. And sadly, we can't get enough. Sell a couple more shares, why not? Sell a couple more shares, and that should hopefully be... Yes, enough for our perimeter wall to there, then along to there, and then along to there. And we're not going to do these two sides because we really don't need it. In fact, we don't really need this placed along there, to be honest with you, but we have it anyway. It looks like, oh, Simon Wildly, once again, is doing their usual. Actually, them two are fighting. Look at that. Gang member, and we've got Paul Blake and Liam Newton. I mean, this is just blood sports now. I'm just watching the thing. Yeah. They're fighting away. And there's some more people coming in here. They're picking up a baton. And this is really getting a bit dangerous. Let me get some more guards there. Probably with dogs. And just everyone. Just charge in. In you get. There we go. They're patrolling. They're going to go up and round anyway. You can see we've got some people with keys. They've put their hands up. There's another death there. That would be Simon and Felix have done this. It's interesting that they're not charging. They're just sort of waiting around. And no, get back. Don't go in on your own. That was... I was going to say a brave guard, but I'm going to go with perhaps deluded. Looks like Adam Featherstone is on the way out. Good grief. We are going to spend some more money on some more guards, because we have to have them. It's a good job I sold a lot of this stuff, the shares, before this happened. I'm going to start the guard taser certification then, because we've got some new blood, essentially. And there we are. Out of all that, no prisoners died. But we did for the guards. The thing is, I don't think there's anything we can do. We've got body armour, we've got tasers and taser rollout, and we've got dogs on patrol, and we've got armed guards on patrol. So apart from stepping up our armed patrols, I don't think there's much we can do. I noticed that the majority of this is stemming from the legendary prisoner, which, well, there's a reason why they're called legendary, isn't there? So, yeah, I guess that's just a thing. Anyway, 14 grand remaining. Probably enough. Probably enough to get a little bit more wall put in around here, but I don't know if it's strictly necessary. In terms of grading, we're on 6 prisoners released. We have realistically quite a bit of time then until we get a grading, which is a shame. We still have parole. There is a way to do it. It's not a smart way of doing it, but I think I'm going ahead and go and do it. Next episode then, I'm going to put the parole cut off to 100%. So anyone that comes in will get parole as standard. It's not a sensible thing to do, because realistically those 4 prisoners will reoffend and we get a massive penalty. And that's not good. However, just for the sake of grading, I want to get it. But, I mean, that'll artificially skew the grading, you understand, because they'll have paroled and reoffended. But, I mean, at least we'll get things like the reform and the amount of prisoners that have died and all that sort of thing. So at least we can do that. Anyway, we will leave it there, and next episode we'll do what I've just mentioned there. We're still going through things like the carpentry apprenticeship and the other such things there. Daily intake, the cash flow is not great, far from it in fact, but at least we've got positive. So there's that going for us, I guess. Anyway, as always, if you have enjoyed the video and the series thus far, thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.